Here we go.
Take two.
Yeah, we are.
Hey guys, welcome to our call. We're working on Thursday tonight because my girl decided to celebrate on Tuesday. She is 9 and a full-on princess. So here's what we want to talk about today is I think that we all agree the most important, well, if you don't, you will. The most important part of spreading the awareness of what we're doing, if we want to help other people, we need to tell people we're here to help them. I think I've been a coach for 3 years, and my biggest fear was the judgment of social media. I'm not an expert, so how can I tell or help other people? I'm a journalist. That's what I do. I hate fitness, actually, and I'd never had a protein shake or a meal replacement shake before Shakeology. So I had zero experience with any of this. And I was really scared on how am I going to get people excited about it. And then here's how you get people excited. And Trina just said this in her call too, is you find something that works for you and you get super excited and you tell people about it.
Yep.
And that's it. It's really that easy. It's like, I really, really love this Tarte foundation that I'm currently not wearing, obviously. But when I am, and people are like, oh my gosh, your skin's so great. Obviously, I'm going to tell them about it. You know, Nikki's Pizza is my favorite pizza. You guys all know my favorite beer. Like, I brag about the things that I love. So this should be no different. And social media is super duper cool because everybody's sharing what they love and sharing what they hate. You know, like, how about all those stupid Nike, like, I love, I hate all week. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't care anymore. Like, I don't even care. So the moral of the story is we need to be sharing what it is we're doing, what it is we love. And it doesn't have to be, you've never seen me, maybe once or twice, of like body pictures, because that's not my transformation. My transformation's up here. So don't feel like you have to post sweaty selfies or anything that's going to make you uncomfortable. It's about sharing your story. So that's what we're going to talk about today is, there's 8 things that, Beachbody either has or will bring into your life. And so how do you talk about those without saying Beachbody? Well, I'm wearing my Beachbody hat, but you know, Beachbody, whatever, and being this big billboard, that you can talk about it through stories. So I'm going to tell you the 8 things, write them down, and then we'll go back through and I'll give you a couple of minutes to write about each one. And then, like Erica, for you, you're new to this. So it's not going to be about coaching for you, but it's going to be about the experience. Like, how cool, and I'm just going to put words in your mouth, but how cool that one day you're watching this infomercial and you're like, I could do that. So you order it, and now you're on this like freaking kick-ass team that you didn't even know existed. Like, that's cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. So that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so number 1, Shakeology and nutrition. Number 2, workouts. Number 3, personal development. That was a big drink. Sorry about that. Number 4, finances. Number 5, friendship. Number 6, customers. Number 7, coaches. And number 8, travel or adventure. So think of it like this. Think of it as, and I'm just going to take number 1 for an example. You're not really going to talk about Shakeology. You're not really going to talk about nutrition. You're going to talk about the change. So think in your head, I was this, or I felt this, and now I this. So it's a transition statement. Again, I'm totally teacher talking right now, but think you were and now you are. So think about, with Shakeology, I will give you an example. I was a chronic migraine sufferer. I now understand that, can tell that story. So think of that as we're going through it. And it can be, you can have one thing or you can have 1,200 things. We're just brain on our sheet. Okay. So I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to attempt. I'm going to put on some music and we'll go 2 minutes for each one. Okay.
Okay. And then are we going to like talk about them or share them?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Watch this short video to get 30 minutes of
Okay, go ahead. Number 1, Shakeology and nutrition.
This Thanks for watching. Click here for more information. Now, enjoy the next 30 minutes of ad-free music. When I started out down a dirty road, started out all alone. And the sun went down as across the hill, and the town lit up. The world got still. I'm ready to fly, wearing that wings, coming down is the hardest thing. With good old days.
Okay, go ahead and go to number 2, workout. So how has knowing about a workout, doing 80-day obsession, being able to complete a freaking workout for an hour, how has that, like, what has that done for you?
Okay.
Could be about the actual workout, could be about your body.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Break your heart, steal your crown. So it started out, got no sweat.
All right, for the sake of time, we're just going to move on. Number 3, personal development. And Erica, I haven't really talked to you much about this, but so there's vital behaviors in Beachbody. Obviously, walk the walk type of thing, invite people to be there with you. But one of the big ones is personal development. So it can be a book you're reading, a podcast. When I started, I was like, that's super lame. I see your grin, so you're there. I get it. So maybe write down, I don't need personal development. It's super cheesy. Only old ladies do that or whatever. And then we'll talk about that.
People with
it's funny because my mom she's sent me or gave me the book, Girl Wash Your Face. And I have it with me, and I haven't really started reading it yet because I got it right when school started, and I'm like, I don't have time. Okay, well, I just binge watched like 3 episodes on Netflix, so obviously I have time. But I need to start reading it. So,
What are you binge watching
And
really quick?
we can have it on Audible and like listen to her. I feel like so. So that's cool too. So a lot of it, like she's obviously in a different phase of her life.
right.
But I think it'll be cool for you to listen to and be like, I want to be like that someday. You know what I mean? So it's cool. So talk about that I have this book that everybody keeps raving about. Maybe I should.
Yeah. If you don't have an Audible account, I can send your first book is always free.
Okay.
So I can actually message, or I'll have Sally send me your, no, we're friends on, I can message it to you. I'll send it to you. You can set it up. Your first book is free. Highly recommend.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
Okay.
I'd love to do that. Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
thank you.
And then you could just listen to it in the car or whenever,
Right.
when you're getting ready. I will tell you, and I know I'm getting off track, but I do my piece. I would do it on my way to work. And finding a time to do it since I'm now working at home has been really hard for me. So I will listen when I take a bath, when I'm putting my makeup, like those types of things. When I'm cooking, when I'm making dinner, and there aren't 1,000 people in my house, sometimes I'll listen. All right, so that's personal development. Number 4, finances. So it could be where you are, where you're hoping to go, what you've seen so far. You just signed up like yesterday. So
Yeah, right, Monday.
You But I think this is where you could write about like goals that you have. Like you're hoping this side gig is going to help with, when I was in college, my beer. I don't know. What do you need help with? This will help
Maybe
with
pay,
your books next semester.
or maybe not have to take out so much. I don't know if you do financial aid or whatever, but I mean, you can definitely have some goals that can set
And a little
for.
savings. So when you do graduate, you have,
Yeah, absolutely.
that little nest. Number 5 is friendship.
That's a good one.
Wherever that river flows, you know I will go with you. Looking over
All right, number 6, customers. And again, if you're new, it might be a question like, what's the type of customer you're looking for? Who do you want to work with? What do you feel like would make you excited to help somebody with? All right, number 7, coaches. So this, I think, I would think more about the team aspect. Like what is, if you're a veteran coach, what have you gotten from the team aspect? What are you hoping for? What have you gotten so far? And then finally, travel or adventure. And then I'm going to ask you to take it a step further and maybe put a little star next to your top 3. If I were to ask you to talk to somebody right now about something, what are the 3 you feel the most comfortable talking
Ooh, can I do that?
What'd you say?
Top 4.
Keeping it for man. And then I want you to put, I don't know, a minus, a sad face, next to 3 that you're like, this is where I want improvement. This is where I don't have a whole lot of confidence, but I would like to. Okay, I'm going to pause Tom Petty. All right. Kristen, what were your top 3? What are 3 that you could talk about right now?
Shakeology and nutrition. And then
tell me some of your points with that.
Okay, so before Shakeology, I used to skip meals like breakfast because I used to think that if I saved those calories, I could eat them later.
Mm-hmm.
I am now okay. So, and then that goes into like before when I did Weight Watchers, it was all about the points system. It wasn't about what was really best for my body. It was like, oh, I can eat this bag of chips. It's 4 points. Sweet.
Right.
You know, that type of
calories.
Stuff. Yeah. So I even wrote just eat to eat, you know, that fit within that category. And now I eat to fuel my body.
Right.
You know, minus the beer. It's fueling it for something though.
That fuels too. It works.
That feels. I mean, you got it.
They're treats, not cheats.
Exactly. That's why we 2B. It's all about treats.
Yeah. And then it also just, you know, that whole mentality of eating, like to be healthy, you just have to eat salads. And this whole, like, if somebody else tells me that they're on another freaking low carb diet, I'm going to scream. But just knowing that you really should be, but that's, you know, but that's that whole, like, you have to not have this, not have that to be healthy when actually you should be eating everything.
Right.
It's just all about how you eat it and when you eat it. So that was the one. And then I went straight down to friendship. And you know, this is like my highlight.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I really kind of wrapped my friendships up with my coaches because, you know, the friendships that I have now are, I said, they're my peeps, my tribe.
Yeah.
You know, before I was friends with the people that I worked with, but it was only because I worked with them. It wasn't necessarily because I'm not really friends with any of them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, friendships, you and I, Darla, Carrie, I mean, there are people that I've met through fitness.
Mm-hmm. And that you actually like care about asking, how was your day, or how are your kids, or whatever.
Yes. I mean, we get to make a list of who we want to work with. Like, who do we want to be on our team? And we make that list because we like those people and that there's something that attracts us to them to work with them.
Right.
To, you know, to be with them. And so I that's probably why I put friendship and coaches. And then I just was like, support, questions, motivation, excitement, growth. Like, and then I'm real comfortable talking about the workouts. How I used to think you had to have a personal trainer, had to go to the gym, you know, and then you walk into the gym and you don't know what the heck you're doing. So like knowing that I know exactly what I need to do each day to get me to where I need to be.
Right.
And just the flexibility, not having to go anywhere, the kids in the snotty kid room or going there and not having a place for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember standing outside the daycare, like waiting. So those were mine.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Erica, what are 3 you could talk about?
So I did the nutrition and the Shakeology. I haven't tried Shakeology. I'm actually planning on when I'm done with my 80-day that I'm going to do the 3-day refresh.
Okay.
and order the one that comes with the 3 shake or that comes with the Shakeology. So that way I can try it in that and then kind of go from there.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
I was looking at all that stuff today because I'm like, where's my package? But so like I just I'm 5'10", first of all, so I'm a really tall person.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of like been known as the curvy girl, you know, who's always kind of had that image, I guess. And so just working on my nutrition, I have so much more energy, and like I would not have bought cauliflower tater tots at any time before I started this. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat any of that stuff. I thought it was gross. And now I've kind of, I mean, I made myself eat it at first, but now like I crave that kind of stuff, I guess.
Right.
It's, you know, crazy, weird. And I've also changed, like you said, I now eat the food because I want the energy, not because, oh, I, you know, didn't eat breakfast. Now I have 400 calories that I can eat later today.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was something that I still can sometimes be bad with, so I need to get better.
When you probably just get up and go. So yeah. So that's something like Shakeology or even one of the bars or something would be perfect.
Right, absolutely.
Like
and then I picked workouts because obviously I started this because I wanted to do the workouts. You know, I was kind of that person who was like, Beachbody doesn't work. It can't work. Like there's no way. And I know there are a lot of people out there who would think the same thing and do think the same thing. Like I wrote down, legit asked my mom, I used to take naps every single day because my body was so tired. Like I didn't want to go do anything. So it's kind of nice that like after I work out, I'm not tired. Like I want to go do my homework. I want to go like, let's go get groceries. Let's go do this. And like I played college
endorphins are a real thing
before this. So like, that's just saying, you know, how much has changed.
That's awesome.
With these workouts. And then I also kind of put coaches and friendships together because like, obviously you know, we're from all over. You're from Kansas City, you're from Texas. I'm from Iowa. She's in Missouri, right? Am I right on that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And just like the friendships I've made, like who would have thought that I would have joined Beachbody and made friends like that? I don't know. It's just something, it's pretty cool, I think. And like I was saying to Kristen, I got pretty lucky that I got you as a coach because not everybody would reach out like that and stuff. So
that's awesome. And that's proof that, I mean, actually Tana in our team page today was asking, when you get a lead from Beachbody, do you reach out? And I was like, of course you reach out, because that's how I get my friends. Like that's how I found Erica. And that's how, like, that's my favorite part of coaching is connecting with people.
So that's the next part that I need to get better about, but
I love it. Now, do you see how all three of those things, how you could communicate either with a person about it or on social media, how you can craft that into a post or whatever?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the purpose of this exercise, because I know I would sit and look at Facebook like this for like an hour when I first became a coach. Like I have no idea what I can talk about, but all these amazing things were happening for me.
Yeah.
I just wasn't comfortable sharing it. Okay. I said Shakeology, workouts, and coaches and friendships. How weird that we all had the same stuff. One of the things, and I think Erica, and I've talked to Kenny about this too, for my coaches and friendships, one of the things that I wrote about was when you're in high school or when you're in college and you're part of this team, whether it's a sports team or whatever, and then all of a sudden you graduate and you're in the real world and these teams don't exist anymore. It's like, my son got home just a minute. He's a loud, young, awesome child. So I was just saying that this can be your team. Like you don't have to God love my husband, but he lives his football glory days a lot. And so I'm like, I get to do it all over again. And so I'm just thinking for someone like you, Erica, who is an athlete and has that, like, this is something that people crave, you know, being a part of something bigger. Okay, Kristen, we have 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
One thing that you probably struggle the most with.
Well, for sure, it's inviting
Of these things, of the.
Of these.
We could talk inviting. Okay. Well, no, let's talk that. That's better. Okay. Why inviting? Why do you think you struggle with it?
Well, I think it's just that, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? Kind of. It's that initial once you get in. So like today, when you and I were doing the power hour, I couldn't think of anything. And I was frustrated. And then as soon as you and I got off and like those people like messaged me back and they were like, no, this, no, that. And I was like, whatever. So then I turned that into, and I found like 4 other people to invite to, and I got a coach. And then another girl is probably either going to do Beachbody on Demand or she's going to try the All Access. It was just that kind of initial, like, where do I start? Who do I invite? And what if they say no?
Right.
And I guess it's, so they say no. You just kind of chalk it up to, it's a new friend I have. And maybe next time it's just a conversation, or eventually, most of the time, people either join you or somebody else, but it never hurts to ask if it
doesn't hurt to ask, because you're right. There isn't a person on the planet that's going to say, no, I don't want to be healthier. No, I don't want fitness in my life. No, I don't want to make new friends. Like, they're not saying no to that. Just Beachbody is a freaking weird word. They shouldn't call it that because that's weird. And I think just the whole network marketing thing is bizarre for people. One of the things that I struggle with is, or I don't anymore, but I did, was adding to my network, which is I believe the most important thing is adding the friends on Facebook, following on Instagram. And so I'm going to give a quick example, but I go through and I will friend request. I would 50 people a day probably. And I know that's probably a lot, but I do a lot. And a girl today, and it happens quite often, will say, I saw you friend requested me. How do I know you? And instantly I'm like, oh, she doesn't want to be my friend. And it's like I'm on the 3rd grade playground again, right? And so my canned response is always the same. Facebook suggested we be friends. So I see we have a lot in common or whatever. And she said back, and this was today, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you did, because we do have a ton in common. And she started listing all these things. So it's like, there is somebody that's going to say, that's weird, I don't know you. And then there's somebody that's going to say, oh, I get what Facebook was like created for, was to make connections with people in Iowa that you wouldn't know elsewhere, Woohoo!
Yep.
So that is always one of my biggest fears. Like, if somebody says Sally Barron requested you, are they going to think you're a total weirdo? And they would be accurate. I am a total weirdo, and they should be my friends.
I think the other thing I don't have, which, is the finances part. I haven't had as quick as success as some of others have. And so that gives me some self-doubt when inviting to the coaching opportunity. However, my experience isn't what the next person's experience is going to be,
Right.
So I have to get over that.
Right. And what Trina will tell you is maybe it paid for a cup of coffee. Maybe it paid for that pedicure. Maybe you were able to, when you're out with a friend for lunch and they bring the bill, you can say, I can pay for that. Like, I've always wanted to be able to do that. Say, I got this, and so maybe it's something as simple as that.
Yeah.
So mine with my finances, and Kristen, you know this, but Erica, you do not. So when I decided to quit teaching, obviously that was a huge financial, like half of our income. And so my husband's the coolest, most beautiful man on the planet. And he said, well, if you're going to do this, here are your bills. You got to pay for this. And at first I was like, what? This has just been my fun money. Like, I've just been having a whole lot of fun with this. And now all of a sudden it's a real job. And I know that sounds weird, but you're probably in that space. And that's why I'm telling you this. Like, ooh, if I make some extra cash, maybe I can do this or this or this. And then now all of a sudden I'm like, this isn't fun money anymore. This is
Right.
paying for my kids' lunch, you know, stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
and I realized in the month that we've done this, having that vision of where I want to go makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge fun reward. And makes it easier because I have benchmarks. I know this is what I need and this is what I got to do to get there. And I'm not selling mascara. I'm not doing anything weird. I'm helping people. I'm teaching people, which is my passion. So it just is a different avenue to get there. But I just wanted to share that because it can be and will be. But even for someone that was 3 years in, I was still looking at it as this is my fun money. And
I was
by the time you're 3 years in, if it's still pedicure money, then you maybe like, that sounds negative. But my point is, if I'm going to put in these types of hours, I want something from it. And and my passion is to help, like you, Erica, I want to help you help others so you can sit behind this desk. That sounds weird too, but you know what I mean? Like have that dream that you want. If you want to someday stay home with your kids, you have that opportunity. If you want to, put that down payment on a home, you have that opportunity. When Chris and I talked about this earlier, that your age group is so my jam right now because I didn't have that. I was raised by a single mom. I paid my way through college. Like if I would have had another income that I could have maybe helped myself out, then that would have been super awesome. So anyway, this is my way of paying it forward. You're welcome. Oh, Erica, last, what is the one that you feel like you're struggling with?
Well, so this is like my fourth job.
So time,
hospital and an urgent care clinic, and I help the underclassmen at school.
right?
So this is just like another thing. But I would say the thing I've been doing this for like 3 days now. But
Yeah,
the thing that I'm most nervous about, we'll say, is like customers. Like,
yeah,
obviously, like I told you, this is totally out of my comfort zone. Like I have never done this. Like I've never done anything like this. So
right.
that's just something that I don't know, I guess I'd say I'm the most nervous about. So.
About not being an expert for your customers.
Right. And
Right.
not like, I don't know, not getting any. I know that sounds really stupid because.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound stupid.
So.
It doesn't sound stupid, but somebody's going to say, Erica, you're looking freaking good.
Right.
And you're going to say, the reason I'm looking good is because of this. It's no different when somebody says, oh my gosh, I saw the picture of your pizza. Where'd you get it? And I'm like, freaking Nikki's Pizza. Like you tell them what you're doing and how you got there, and you just get excited about it.
Yep.
So I know that's scary, but I will tell you also about the whole like understanding it and being an expert, especially like you're not drinking Shakeology. So you might be like, whatever. However, I am. So say I'm currently not drinking Shakeology, but my friend Sally has drank it for 3 years. And let me tell you what she's got going on.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't have to always, it doesn't have to always be your story. Like, you're going to have your bits and pieces that you can add, but there's always somebody else on the team that you can reference and bring them in and say, let me tell you about Kristen. She's a breast cancer survivor. She's a mom of 2. She's this and this. Because you are in college, you're going to have like your certain people that will possibly maybe want to try it with you. But I really think your market, your jam is going to be people that you meet out in social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have company that showed up? So do we need to?
My boyfriend showed up.
Yeah. No, we'll wrap it up.
He's just out there. He's fine.
Hello, boyfriend.
Yeah.
Well, any questions you have, shoot them our way.
Okay.
But we do this every Tuesday. This is our Tuesday. And it's just a way for this, just to be real casual and say questions, whatever, because your success is our success, and we want to make sure that it's not scary. It should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So awesome.
Perfect.
All right. All right, guys. Happy Thursday. Happy football. Happy boyfriend.